Hey, what's up, guys? It's Pep Fernandez from the Inland Sports Show. Just a quick programming note. In the next couple of weeks and months, we're really going to put a focus on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. We got several thousand subscribers. We have over 1 million views. We're uploading new videos each and every week. So we're really going to point you guys, everyone who follows the Inland Sports Show, to the Inland Sports YouTube channel. We will still post on Instagram and Twitter. We're going to post a lot of pictures, maybe some shorter videos, but we really want to put an emphasis on the YouTube channel. So here's what we need from you guys. If you haven't done so already, make sure you are subscribed to the Inland Sports YouTube channel and give us a big thumbs up when you watch our videos. We'd really appreciate it. If you've subscribed, maybe tell your teammates, other kids at school, other coaches on your coaching staff, your parents, your grandparents. We'd really appreciate the more subscribers, the better. So subscribe and give us a like. And if you want to take it even further, there's now a thanks button at the bottom as well if you'd like to take your support to the next level and make a small donation so we can continue to bring you great sports coverage here in the Inland Empire. Hey, what is up, everybody, and welcome to the Friday Night Football Recap here on the Inland Sports Show YouTube channel. My name is Pep Fernandez. Can't wait to break down Week 9 of the high school football season. Some very big and important games tonight. Going into Week 9, we already knew this, that the Ivy League and the Mountain Valley League, both of those leagues had a four-way tie for first place with only 2 weeks left in the regular season, and it panned out to be another crazy night. We're going to get to some of the scores and highlights in a second. Plus, looking ahead to week number 10, we're going to have a couple true league championship games. I mean, winner take all, one league champion. It's going to be a lot of fun come next week. Now, let's start with some highlights here, and this was our Ken Sporting Goods must-see game this week. Norte Vista taking on Ramona. Norte Vista, the defending champion. They have run the River Valley League for the most part about the last decade. And then for Ramona, trying to win their first outright league championship since 1988. Tonight would be a huge step in that direction. They'd have to beat Novi tonight, and then they'd have to beat Patriot come next week. But tonight, huge rivalry game. Two teams that were 7-1 coming in to this game. It was also on Riverside TV. Had the honor of calling the game with Jeff Gorman and Ghazal Hassan. I was down there roaming the sidelines doing that. It was a lot of fun. But hustled back here to my living room, actually, and I've got two dogs asleep over there. I'm just hoping they're not going to come and jump on me while we're doing this. But if they do, we'll just play some highlights like right now. Here we go. Novi and Ramona. Here is Bo Bruins. Probably, likely, should be the leading rusher in Ramona high school history, according to AD John Tibbles. There's Ken Batdorf and fire up the smoke machine, the big sign. Here come the Rams, everybody, as we take you out to Ram High again. This was on Riverside TV. Norte Vista doing some good things on the ground early on. Demarion Richardson gets in the first touchdown of the game for Norte Vista. They would strike first, but man, Novi would hold on to that ball with long sustaining drives, and Ramona did the exact opposite. Long home run runs from Bo Bruins. That one going for, I think that was about 55 yards. He had 2 touchdowns in the opening frame. Here comes the other one. This one's going to go for about 70 yards as Bo Bruins, and the Rams were trailing 14-7, but that touchdown there would tie the game at 14 in the first quarter. So A little back and forth. Ramona only had one possession in the first quarter, but then they would crank up the offense. Quarterback Nathan Johnson, 2. Jordan Daniels on the touchdown in the second quarter. Ramona takes the lead, and really, they would not look back from there. They would continue to add to that lead, 20-14 there. Here comes Bo Bruins again before halftime. Ramona led 22-14 at the break, and they would continue to build on that lead here in the third quarter. It's going to be Johnson to Jake Valenzuela on the touchdown. And Ramona goes on to win by a final score of 40-22 to move to 8-1 on the season, 4-0 in the River Valley League. And as we mentioned, they will play Patriot in the final week with a chance to win their first outright league championship since 1988. Now, they did win, part of the league title in 2017, but we had 5 teams, remember? A 5-way tie for first place in the River Valley League back in 2017. So trying to win their first outright title since 1988. Nathan Johnson, the quarterback for the Rams, did not start the game. He missed the first series. I was like, Nathan, what's going on? You didn't play out there the first series. Well, truth be told, he was almost all the way to football practice, forgot some of his stuff, had to turn around and go home, get his stuff, go back to practice, ended up being 5 minutes late. So, Coach Kim Mashinsky, also his father, everyone plays by the same rules, and Nathan Johnson had to sit out the first series. But when you got Bo Bruins, they scored anyways, running the football. So anyways, here's Nathan Johnson and Bo Bruins after that big win for Ramona High School. Again, it was senior night. It was a huge crowd at Ramona High School, and a lot on the line for the Rams, and they got the big win. Here's the guys.
Inland Sports.
It feels very good to be back on top. We faced a really good opponent in Norte, Vista, and we played some good football tonight, and we're going to focus on next week and going into the playoffs.
Now, your dad had a great message. Tonight doesn't matter unless you guys take care of business next week, right?
Yeah, so we're going to come out, have a great week of practice, and on tomorrow, our focus is going to be on Patriot and winning a league title.
So 4 touchdowns in this game, and again, those 2 long touchdown runs in the first quarter. How did that set the tone for the rest of the game for you guys?
I feel like I said, big tone, because Norte Vista came out and scored. And then I just came in and scored a touchdown I couldn't do it on my line, so all props to them.
You were saying, like, every time you get the football, you feel like you can take it for a home run, take it all the way. I mean, what was it about the O-line and your guys up front helping you, get those big holes?
We've just been working since freshman year, and they're massive, and the receivers can block, so it helps a lot.
And finally, Coach had a great message. Tonight doesn't matter if you guys can't beat Patriot next week and win that outright league championship. How do you guys stay focused?
We just got to take it week by week. We got to focus. They got great running backs, Brandon Lopez. We just got to key in. Defense got to lock down.
Inland Sports.
All right, congratulations to the Ramona Rams. Again, if you'd like to watch the entire game, it's on Riverside TV right now. Just search City of Riverside on YouTube, and you will find the game. All right, now let's talk a little Mountain Valley League going into week number 9. We had 4 teams going head-to-head with a chance to win the league championship. We had Indian Springs taking on Rubidoux, and I guess I can spoil the final score. As we will get to all the scores a little bit, but Rubidoux beat Indian Springs tonight. So in the other game, it was A.B. Miller taking on San Bernardino. And again, a 4-way tie for first place. Xavier Alvarez and the crew, San Bernardino, taking down A.B. Miller tonight. And it was a close, low-scoring game. 14-13, the final score. So San Bernardino earns at least a share of their first league championship in 23 years. Congrats to Cardinal City. Big win for San Bernardino, edging the defending champion Rebels by 1. Again, 14-13. So I jumped on Max Preps because I wanted to see if they had the updated standings for the MVL. And let's take a look at it right now so you can see what I'm seeing. San Bernardino at 3-1 right now. In first place, Indian Springs, they're going to be 2-2. Rubidoux, let's see, Miller's 2-2, Harupa Valley. So here we go into the final week of the regular season, and San Bernardino is going to control their own destiny, and they've got Pacific in the final week. of the season. So let's assume for this conversation that San Bernardino gets the win against the Pirates next week. They will be 4-1 to finish up league, and they will be your outright league champion. So again, Rubidoux beating Indian Springs tonight, and we will go through the final scores right now, but I'll tell you, it was Rubidoux 28, Indian Springs 19. So even though the standings, what you're looking at right now, has not been updated with that final score, Indian Springs is going to be 2-2, Rubidoux is 2-2, Miller 2-2, and Jurupa Valley 2-2. So again, congrats to the Cardinals. First league championship in 23 years. If they beat Pacific next week, they will be the outright Mountain Valley League champions. Congrats to Coach Sean Collins and the guys out there doing such a great job getting Cardinal City back on top. Their only setback was a 2-point loss against Indian Springs. All right, speaking of league championships, how about in the Citrus Belt League, where Cajon is going to be your CBL champion for the 6th consecutive season. They have won 32 games straight in the CBL. Picked up another big win last night on the road at Beaumont. Let's go to some of the highlights. Where's Mike? Everyone's yelling for Mike. Mike, where are you? He's going to be right here. It's Evan Powell, the QB for the Cowboys, airs it out to Mike Anderson. Comes down with the football for the great touchdown catch for Cajon. They would strike first against Beaumont, and they would strike early and often to build a nice 24-0 lead in the first half and hold on down the stretch against the Beaumont Cougars. And then later, it's going to be Jaquan Smith, man. This guy is so good as a receiver, and look out. Here he comes in as a running back, breaks off that long touchdown run for Jaquan Smith, one of the fastest guys on the planet. And he had a couple big touchdown runs. You're going to see another one coming up in just a moment. Chris Cooper, QB for Beaumont, known for being a great passer. But how about the run on this one for Chris Cooper? Big gain, but Beaumont would come up empty on that drive. And then it's going to be Cooper chased down by Philander Lee. Big Phil bringing him down on the sack there. Lee is one of the top pass rushers in the area, no doubt. Big number 88. And here comes Jaquan Smith again. He hits second level, and nobody's going to touch him. If that's a foot race, I'd put everything on Jaquan Smith. He blows past the secondary, gets in for his second touchdown in the first half. Big run by Jaquan Smith. And as we told you, 24-0, Beaumont led at halftime, and they go on to win on the road at Beaumont, 38-7, the final score for Philander Lee, the Cowboys. And man, you know, Cajon's had some great teams in the past, and I feel like most of those teams, and this is no slight to the greats like Jeremiah Martin and Nick Figueroa who played defense, but they've always had great offenses, and they scored a lot of points. This year, the Cajon defense is just gnarly, and they're really really something. Just ask any of the teams they've played this year. That Cajon defense is really leading the way for the Cowboys. Now, let's keep it in the CBL. Citrus Valley taking on Yucaipa in league play. And Hunter Herrera to Brockton Liam. I don't know if there's a better 1-2 punch in our Inland Sports Show coverage area. These guys get it done every single week. Herrera to Liam here, and somehow gets in between two defenders for the touchdown there. Citrus Valley. I thought Citrus Valley versus Yucaipa might be a little closer than this, but there goes Herrera to Liam again. I think Brockton Liam had 5 touchdowns in all in this game. There's Jordan Harris going in for another Blackhawks score. Citrus Valley would go on to beat Yucaipa by a final score of 45-7. So it looks like Citrus Valley will be your second place team in the CBL behind Cajon as Liam runs in another touchdown. But there's a big game next week. Beaumont will take on Yucaipa, which I believe, without looking at the standings, I believe that will be for third place now in the CBL. So Cajon will be your champ. Citrus Valley will finish in second. And then Beaumont versus Yucaipa will be a big one next week. Here's the lone touchdown for the T-Birds. I do want to give a quick shout out to my boy Carl. I wish every team had a Carl, because Carl always hooks it up with the great highlights. Hunter Herrera scrambling. He's going to take matters into his own hands, runs in for the touchdown. Again, final score against Yucaipa, 45-7. Blackhawks win big in CBL play. Congrats to them. Hunter Herrera doing the old Superman there. All right, another big game. We told you Beaumont versus Yucaipa. That's a big game next week in terms of getting a playoff spot. How about for second place in the Mountain Pass? San Jack, the Jack, Eric Galliano joined us on the show this past week. San Jack's going to be your Mountain Pass League champion again, but for second place, we got a huge game coming up in week number 10. It's going to be Tahquitz taking on Liberty. And Liberty taking on Paris in week number 9. That's going to be Andre Skelton going in for the touchdown. They got some great running backs. This one is going to be Anthony Ruelas slicing through that Paris defense to get in for the touchdown. And how about Eddie Smith? We're going to cap off the highlights with that Eddie Smith touchdown run. And the Bison going to pound the football. They can score a lot of points. Liberty beating Paris last night, 35-zip. So now, again, Liberty versus Tahquitz in that week 10 for second place in the Mountain Pass. That might be one of the top games in our area. All right, so let's see. We talked about the Mountain Pass, and we talked about the Mountain Valley League being that four-way tie going for first place going into tonight. Now, San Bernardino's the front runner. And that other wacky league that we told you there was a four-way tie for first place, that would be the Ivy League. And we can tell you right now, this is going to be our kids' sporting goods must-see game. I just know it. Orange Vista will play Rancho Verde next week, and it will be a winner-take-all league championship game. And better yet, it will be brother versus brother, as Eric Zomalt, now at Rancho Verde, will go up against his brother Greg Zomalt, the head football coach at Orange Vista. It doesn't get any better than this. Before we show you the scores from Friday night, just know that Rancho Verde beat Heritage and Orange Vista beat Temescal Canyon. So the standings you see on your screen right now are accurate. So Orange Vista at 3-1, Rancho Verde at 3-1 will play against each other next week. Winner take all, league championship, brother versus brother. It doesn't get any bigger than this. So excited for it. It will be our kids' sporting goods must-see game, as we'll dig a little bit deeper on this matchup come next week. And you can see now a logjam for third place now in the Ivy League. So Temescal Canyon, JW North, and Elsinore fighting for their playoff lives, trying to sneak into the playoffs in a very tough Ivy League this season. But that game for the league championship is going to be a great one. All right, let's see. If you guys are in the live chat, if you've got any questions, you can hit me up as I get ready to put up the scores on the screen. So you guys have been awesome about making predictions, comments, questions about high school football. So if you got them, hit me up in the live chat right now. Let's take a look at the scores from tonight. So we had Thursday night football as well. All those scores are right now on the Inland Sports website. So these final scores you're about to see are from tonight, Friday night football. All right, let's see. Big West Conference, Centennial over Murrieta Valley, 50-7. So the Huskies, they're going to be your Big West Conference Upper Division champions. And our good friend Dennis Pope saying on Twitter that quarterback Bear Bachmeyer did not play for Murrieta Valley. He's held out tonight. He's going to play next week. Chaparral versus Norco. Now, I saw, according to the Norco Twitter account for Norco Athletics, that starting Norco quarterback Tyler Dudden was not in this game. Not sure why, but he did not play. And Chaparral beating Norco by 20, 48-28. So think about this. In the past 3 weeks, Chaparral has beat Vista Murrieta, Murrieta Valley, and Norco in 3 consecutive weeks, man. What a run for Andrew Raymer and the Pumas right now. We'll keep it in the Big West Conference. Vista Murrieta, a bounce-back win. They were on a 4-game losing streak, and they beat Roosevelt 17-7 tonight. So I'll tell you what, that Big West Conference upper division, outside of probably Centennial, right? Those other teams, man, they're just taking turns beating each other up. But Chaparral has emerged as the second-place team right now. Chaparral, they're going to get Roosevelt in the final week of the season. Centennial will get Norco. That's a big rivalry game as we try to look ahead. In the Big West lower division, Murrieta Mesa beat Corona 54-7. Great Oak over Santa Tiago, 37-13. So Great Oak earns at least a share of the league championship. So congrats to them. Now we go to the Arrowhead Athletic Conference and specifically the Sunkist League. Now this one kind of surprised me a little bit. Eisenhower beating Summit 14-10 the final score. If you accompany that with the Harupa Hills win against Kaiser 48-14, that now means Harupa Hills controls their own destiny. Harupa Hills will play Summit next week with a chance to be the outright league champion. If Harupa Hills loses next week against Summit, we could see a situation where we have multiple league champions. But just know, Harupa Hills, big win tonight against Kaiser. Now that they are the team to beat with one game to go in the Sunkist League. Also from the Arrowhead Athletic Conference, Grand Terrace and San Gorgonio. Didn't see a final score there, but I know Grand Terrace won big. I know Rim of the World won. They doubled up Carter 42-21. Zach Gross for the Fighting Scots, 232 on the ground, 3 touchdowns. So Coach Joe Gerardo and the guys are going up against Grand Terrace next week for the San Andreas League Championship, winner take all. That is another true league championship game. 2 first-place teams going head-to-head. Final week of the season, and the winner will be your league champion. Let's back it up just a little bit. Colton over Arroyo Valley, 36-28, and we saw Bloomington over Notre Dame, 50-34. Let's see, on the other side of the screen to the Mountain Valley League, we told you Rubidoux beat Indian Springs 28-19. San Bernardino won better than A.B. Miller, the defending champion in the Mountain Valley. And so San Bernardino now at least a share of the Mountain Valley League Championship. They can win the outright league title with a win against Pacific next week. Congrats to the Cards. First league title in 23 seasons. Ramona beats Norte Vista 40-22. We showed you the highlights a little bit earlier. Hillcrest over Arlington 35-8, also in the River Valley League. To the Ironwood in Aquinas, picking up a big win against Ontario Christian 33-16. Aquinas will be your Ironwood League champion. Big Bear coming up short against Valley Christian 35-21. To the Ivy League, there's those scores. We told you Rancho Verde and Orange Vista will play each other for a true league championship next week. Zomalt versus Zomalt. Rancho Verde over Heritage, 34-14. Orange Vista on top of Temescal Canyon, 39-19. So they actually both won by exactly 20 points this week. And JW North kind of threw a wrench into things, beating Elsinore 27-17. Had Elsinore beat North this week, Elsinore could have at least stayed in a tie for first place in the Ivy League. And let's see, Moreno Valley over Valley View 38-14, and Rancho Christian on top of Canyon Springs 35-13, that final score. All right, let's see. I'm going to pop up on camera real quick. See, we've only been going about 25 minutes. Kind of a short and sweet show tonight. Only had highlights from about 5 different games, but I at least wanted to show the highlights, go over the scores, and really, what does it mean going into week number 10, the final week of the regular season next week? Because, again, we've got teams, fighting for the league championship. We have a couple true league championship games in the Ivy League and the San Andreas League off the top of my head. And we've got a bunch of other leagues where there could be co-champions. And then, leagues where teams are fighting for playoff spots. I'm thinking about the Big West Conference lower division, the CBL, teams fighting for that third place spot, right? And so there's some meaningful games going into week number 10, which makes it even more exciting. All right, let me take a look at the live chat real quick. GC3, the Doughboys. Yeah, dude, give it up for Rubidoux, man. Kind of a slow start this season, but they're picking up wins when they need to be. And that was a big win against Indian Springs because now Rubidoux can stay in the hunt for a playoff spot. Right now, they could still finish in third place in the Mountain Valley League and get into the postseason. Let's see. Rim of the World, 42-21. Sonny, you're exactly right. Big win tonight for Rim of the World as they doubled up on Carter, and now Rim of the World versus Grand Terrace in the San Andreas League. Winner take all, true league championship game between the Titans and the Scots. Let's see. Some of those other scores that we got to. Got a Silverado Adelanto score if you're in that sort of thing up in the high desert. 37-18 Silverado. Let's see. Oh, Gazal and Jeff, the big Jeezy watching from Riverside TV, had the honor of hanging out with those guys tonight at Ramona. Junior Hernandez simply writes, Ramona. Enough said, Junior. You're right. Big win for the Rams tonight, and they look really, really good. They got such a great quarterback in Nathan Johnson, a great running back in Bo Bruins. And Johnson, he's got like 3 or 4 great receivers led by Valenzuela and Daniels, who you saw in the highlights. They both had touchdowns tonight, so congratulations to them. Enrique, who do you have winning that league? Hey, Enrique, hit me up again. Tell me what league you were talking about. I'm not sure. Let's see. Oh, Aquinas Mama's back. Julia, congrats, Aquinas. Great game tonight. Yeah, that was. Ontario Christian was having a great season. So that's a nice road win for Aquinas there. Be tested a little bit before you get to the playoffs. Get a nice test there. Congrats to BHS Bloomington. Congrats to them too. And yeah, another league championship for Aquinas. Let's see. Junior wants to know what CIF division is Ramona going to be in? Okay, for the sake of this conversation, let's say they win out. They are your league champion. They're going to finish 9-1. Their only loss was a 1-point loss on the road at Kaiser. I'm going to guess 7. If you had to pin me down right now, I'm going to say 7 right now. Kaiser, we love Coach Cardosi, and we think he's doing a great job at Kaiser, but they've had some ups and downs this year. So maybe losing to Kaiser was not so bad, but we'll find out. If I was going to guess, I would say 7. I think you're right, Junior. If they could get bumped up to 6, but you're probably right. We're in the same ballpark, 6 or 7. And in fact, I saw some coaches, some baseball coaches on the sideline tonight at Ramona, and they were like, hey, so what division is Ramona in? I'm like, that's a great question. We don't know. We won't know till the end of the regular season. And he's like, oh, that's right. Football does that weird thing where you don't find out until the end of the regular season what division they slot you in. And I said, correct. Baseball, all the other sports, you know exactly before the season starts what division you're in. Let's see. Enrique, the Ivy League. Oh, man. So I wish maybe so Johnny Nunez is our director for the Inland Sports Show on Wednesday nights. And we were talking about this the other night before it was on Wednesday this past week. And I told him, we got to pull up that clip, the video, where I said on the Inland Sports Show, when we made our league championship predictions, I said, in week number 10, I'm predicting that Rancho Verde and Orange Vista will play one another for the league championship, brother versus brother. That was my prediction like in August. And it finally came to fruition. It's actually happening. So we got to go back and find that clip, find that video. But if I had to pick a winner, oh man, I hate doing that. Here's the thing. Before I pick a winner, I will say nothing but respect for Eric Zomal and Greg Zomal. I think the world of both those guys. They are both great coaches. And, the proof is in the pudding. Look, from Citrus Hill when they were together, CIF titles, state championships. They go to Orange Vista, new school. Greg was able to build that up in a hurry. Already one of the top programs in the area. And now Eric Zomal, first season in at Rancho Verde. Obviously a slow start for the Mustangs, 0 for 5 in non-league. They get to league and they start getting some wins, and all of a sudden they're in a spot where they could win a league championship. But with all that said, if you put me on the spot right now, I would probably say Orange Vista. Orange Vista is explosive. They've got such a great offense. Now, if Rancho Verde's defense, that's going to be the main matchup to watch going into that game. If Rancho Verde's defense can get some stops, that's going to be, obviously the best chance they're going to have to win that game, because I think offensively, Orange Vista just has some really special players. Sire Gaines, man, he's a really great player. Let's see. Yes. Sunday, October 30th. Yes, that will be Selection Sunday, right? Coming up for our high school football teams to find out which playoff division they're going in. Since you brought it up, Aquinas Mama. Let's see. Aquinas. I'm going to guess Aquinas is probably going to end up in 5. I know Aquinas has been in Division 5 in previous seasons, and they won, the Division 7 championship the previous year, I'm going to guess they're going to be around 5 this year. If I was going to guess, maybe 6, but I'm thinking 5 for the Aquinas Falcons. All right, guys, last call before I wrap things up here. If you got anything else in the live chat, hit me up, let me know. Yeah, it's a lot of fun trying to predict which playoff division these teams will go into. And again, for some of these teams, they're already in the playoffs. They're fighting for their playoff lives. It's easy to, talk about these games for league championships, or a game that has 2 teams going head-to-head for the league title, because the loser's going to be in second place, and they're still going to the playoffs too. But those teams battling for 3rd and 4th place, that's where it gets real dicey to punch your ticket to the postseason. And once you get in, we'll all find out come Selection Sunday. Let's see. Bummy Bum. What's up, Bummy Bum? Has he talked about the Inland League? Let's see. Can you explain the playoff format by any chance, Pep, about how many teams per league? So, Enrique, at the end of the regular season, the CIF will put teams into the 14 playoff divisions. And you just don't know. It's based on your win-loss, who you beat, and the teams that you beat, who did they beat? So there's a real strength of schedule. There's a formula to it that they look at. So if you're in a 6-team league, so you play 5 league games, 6 teams in all, the top 3 get those automatic spots, right? But if you finish in 4th, you could be an at-large, but it just really depends where the CIF slots all the teams. So for example, let's say like the Big West Conference. They'll say, okay, let's take the top 3 teams. Okay, Centennial, obviously your first place team. They're going to go in Division 1. Let's say Chaparral is your second place team. Okay, Chaparral, we're going to put them in 3. And let's see, the third place team, we'll say it's Norco. And the third place team, Norco, we're going to put them in Division 2. All right? So then you just go through all the leagues. You take the top 3 teams and you just start slotting them. And then whatever's left, if there's any spots left, that's where you get your at-large bids. And that's where some of these 4th place teams out of a 6-team league could sneak into the playoffs. Now, the thing is, some of these leagues don't have 6 teams. Like, take, for example, I think it's like the San Andreas only has 4 teams. So those only have 2 automatic bids into the playoffs. So it's really hard to say. I mean, I try to, do my best job of guessing. But really, I'm like you guys. I just normally just wait till Selection Sunday. If you win your league title, you're going in for sure. You're going to have a home game in the first round. But other than that, I wait till Sunday like you guys. It's a lot of fun to see all the brackets come out together. All right, let's see. Aquinas Mama. Yeah, I'm thinking Division 5 too. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Division 5 for Aquinas because they had some tough non-league games, which kind of made the whole body of work for the Falcons look a little more impressive. And so we'll see. So we've only got about, a week and 2 days. So not this Sunday, not in 2 days, but a week from Sunday, the brackets will come out after week number 10. All right, guys, I'm going to shut things down. If you're watching this, please subscribe to the channel if you aren't doing so already, and tell everyone you know. We'd really appreciate it. We just crossed over 3,000 subscribers. We'd love to have another 3,000 on top of that. It would be awesome. Make sure you like this video. And if you'd like to support Inland Sports, because we'd really need it, there's a thanks button on each of our videos. I don't think it's here on the live stream, but every video that we post on the YouTube channel, there's a thanks button where even just a couple bucks could help us, go out and cover games, build graphics, all the built-in costs of doing this. We'd really appreciate it as well. So next week on the Inland Sports Show, just a quick reminder, we will break down and preview Week 10 of the high school football season and try to make sense of what games are important and who can win league titles and who's fighting for a playoff spot and all those things. So once we digest all the scores from tonight, we're just trying to do a quick recap. We will go over it next week. Actually, I had some notes here real quick. So Rancho Verde versus Orange Vista, True League Championship. Rim versus Grand Terrace, True League Championship there. Liberty versus Tockwitz is going to be big for second place in the Mountain Pass. Beaumont versus Yucaipa. 2 teams fighting for 3rd in the CBL and a playoff spot. Harupa Hills taking on Summit. Harupa Hills, again, controls their own destiny. If they win, they're the league champions, no doubt about it, outright champ. And, of course, Centennial versus Norco is a big rivalry game. And Chaparral taking on Roosevelt next week. Chaparral, if you're just joining us, beating Vista Murrieta Valley, and Norco in 3 consecutive weeks. That's very, very impressive for the Pumas. I know they're 5-4 on the year, and you're going to look at their schedule and be, or look at their record and be like, hey, they're 5-4. Like, why are they ranked so high? Well, look who they beat. They beat some really good teams, and they lost to Temecula Valley by 4 earlier this season. And sometimes high school football is weird, and you're trying to figure out how can they go out and beat Norco and Murrieta Valley and Vista Murrieta, but then they lost to Temecula Valley. And football, man, that's all I can say, football. So the Chaparral Pumas really coming on strong right now. I think like Harupa Hills, I think the Boost Top 25 rankings come next week are going to look significantly different. Again, we've been saying that, I think, since week 7. After week 7, they changed. After week 8, they changed. And after week 9 tonight, they're drastically going to change again because we've seen Chaparral shooting up the rankings. Harupa Hills also climbing. Ramona is going to climb. Great Oak is climbing right now. So the rankings, when we post them, which will probably be Monday morning, the Boost Top 25, will look different. No doubt about it. They will look different come next week. All right, guys, good night, everybody. I am closing down the shop, and make sure, again, you stay tuned to Inland Sports on YouTube and our social media platforms, specifically Twitter and Instagram, and you stay up with the latest here in the Inland Sports Show coverage area with scores and highlights and interviews, breaking news, all the good stuff. My name is Pep Fernandez. Have a great weekend, everybody. God bless you. Stay safe out there. We'll see you next time.